This is a tutorial on how to play Element Brawl. The first step is setting up the game. Each player is dealt 5 cards and is given 15 health tokens, which they place in front of them like so. The rest of the cards are placed in the center of the 3 players. In between each of the players is a battle token. This is where players will put the card they wish to use to battle. At the start of each turn, the players will simultaneously put a card of their choice down on a battle token, like so. If 2 cards are played on the same token, they go into battle. By default, each card deals 1 point of damage, but there are certain criteria that allows a card to deal 2 points of damage, and there are even cards that allow damage to be negated. If the player chose to battle someone else, but another player put a card on their token, they default take damage from the solo player while going into battle with the other player. After the players have played their round, they discard the cards in a discard pile, starting next to the draw pile. And then they draw a new card to replace the cards they just used. Once the draw pile has been depleted, the discard pile is to be shuffled and put back into play. When a player takes damage, they flip over the corresponding amount of hearts. Once all the hearts are gone, that player is out of the game. The winner is determined by the person who is left with hearts. These are the 6 different types of attack cards in the game: water, fire, earth, dark, tranquility, and light. Each card deals a standard of 1 point of damage, but if the card type is super effective against another type, it then deals 2 points of damage. Water deals 2 points against dark and fire. Fire deals 2 points against light and earth. Earth deals 2 points against water and tranquility. Dark deals 2 points against fire and light. Light deals 2 points against tranquility and earth. And tranquility deals 2 points against dark and water. On the bottom of each card, it lists what type of card it is, as well as its element. It also lists the basic attack, as well as the elements it is super effective against. There are 6 different types of support cards. These are played similarly to attack cards, except they have different effects that can change the tide of the game. There's block, see, reflect, swap, delay, and heal. Block only deals 1 point of damage from the enemy that the card is played on. Swap allows you to swap your hands with the player that you play the card against. Delay allows you to wait until every other player has played their card, and then you may choose another card to play. Heal heals 1 point of damage. Reflect reflects all damage dealt to you to the person attacking you. See allows you to choose 2 cards to look at from the person you have played the card against. Here is one example of a turn. Player 1 chose a water attack, while player 2 chose a dark attack. Player 1 will take 1 point of damage, but player 2 will take 2 points of damage because water is super effective against dark. Meanwhile, player 3 played an attack card against player 1, and since there was no card to defend against this one, player 1 will take an additional 1 point of damage. After that turn, both player 1 and player 2 take 2 points of damage, and player 3 takes 0 points of damage. This is a turn example where a support card is played. Player 1 played a block, so it negates the damage that player 2 attempted to deal to player 1. Player 3 also decided to attack player 1, but since the block was played against player 2, player 1 will take 1 point of damage from player 3. So after that turn, only one player took a point of damage, and that was player 1. In this example, all 3 players chose to play an attack card against a different player. In this case, all 3 players will take 1 point of damage. In this example, player 1 has decided to play the Reflect card, while player 2 decides to attack them. Since player 2 is playing a Dark card, which is super effective against fire, player 2 gets 2 points of damage reflected back at them. This is contrary to where if player 2 had decided to just use a different attack card, in this case, only 1 point of damage would be reflected back at player 2, causing player 2 to take 1 point of damage. In this case, player 1 decided to play a delay card. I'll go over how that works. Since player 1 played a delay card, it allows them to see the move of their opponents and allows them to make the best move. Since player 3 chose to attack player 2, player 1 can safely make a move against player 2. At this time, player 1 withdraws their delay card and puts it in the discard pile. They then choose another card from their hand to play against player 2. In this case, player 1 decides to choose an Earth attack, which deals 2 damage against a water attack. And with those few examples, that concludes the video of how to play Element Brawl. Have fun!